Beautiful soul, in this video we are talking about how to use the law of change to shift your reality instantly. So let's dive deeper. Here's the thing, everything is governed by law of change. And the problem is when we resist the law of change, we feel the pain. The universe wants you to evolve. It's all about the constant exchange of energy, and it's all about the evolution. It's all about the expansion. Universe is constantly expanding. If you are being stuck in certain identity and you don't want to shift to another identity, the preferred identity, you are experiencing emotional pain. The moment you realize that the law of change is governing our existence, whether we like it or not, then you're going to actually accept the fact that you are constantly evolving and changing. And therefore, you're going to stay open, and you will then be able to intentionally govern the way your evolution is going to take place. So what do I mean by this is, if you want to change your outside reality, you know that you have to change. You have to change first, because your outside reality is only a reflection of who you are. It will always be a reflection of who you are, because we don't manifest what we want, we only manifest who we are, vibrationally speaking. Your frequency is manifesting. Who you are being on vibrational level is manifesting your outside reality. And so in order to change your outside reality, stop wasting time trying to change the circumstances, trying to control the situation, whatever the situation is. It is a waste of time, because there is another law, and that is called the law of mirror, that is governing our existence, meaning that what is inside of you will be also shown outside of you. And to change what is outside of you, you have to change inside. So simply by understanding that if you want to change your reality, if you want to change your circumstances, you have to change first. So to understand that, because there is the law of change in place, and it will always be in place, whether we like it or not, it will always be there. And so to accept it, this is how it is. That being said, if I'm changing, I might as well change the way I want. So then we go to the next step, which is the step 2, and that is the shift in your identity, the way you want it. So the question is, how can you become who you want to become? So then you can experience that preferred reality, right? Because as I said, the outside reality will always reflect who you are, vibrationally speaking. As above, so below. So the question is, how can I shift to that preferred version of me, provided that now I finally accepted the law of change is in place. The law of change is actually influencing my reality. It's governing my reality. And now I want to shift to the new version of me. And when you shift to the new version of you, you will be able to finally see the changes, guaranteed. To shift to the new version of you is to become open, And in order to become open is to really about understanding that who you truly, truly are is not who you think you are. It's not. You are not this body. You are not this identity. You are unlimited potential who can create, be, do, have anything you desire. And the moment you actually feel into this truth, it's gonna get easier, because you will then understand that there is no need to be so attached to that current identity. I can give you an example. For so long, I was attached to that identity of lawyer, attorney. I was immigrant, moved to this country with just $700. I worked very hard over the years to become successful attorney in the United States. And by the way, when I came here, I had $700 and broken English. And so when I created my identity, right, that was my dream identity back then, and I became an attorney who was running my firm, and this firm was able to successfully bring over $20 million to the US with my legal work, right, my contribution and so on. That was a very successful identity, if you will. And I had a hard time to break free from this identity because I was identified with success and hard work, and I actually felt important, right? I felt like, okay, I achieved something big. So now to let go of this identity was very hard for me because my ego didn't want to do it. My ego wanted to really hold on to this identity. And the more I was trying to do that, I couldn't. It made me feel, my ego would just like suddenly feel like I'm nobody. And it was almost like I felt like without that particular identity, I felt like I'm nobody. I'm nobody, and that idea of nobody, it just made me feel depressed, to be honest. It took me a while to realize that I can't kill this identity and switch to another identity because this is not going well for my ego. And instead I was gently paying attention to my new identity that was aligned with my soul purpose, my new identity that was coming from my higher self, my new identity that was more than just this egocentric identity of attorney, because it was beyond body and beyond what I was perceiving in physical reality. It was way beyond. And the way I was able to tap into this higher self was through my inner work, my meditation practice, that I was able to finally feel that illusion of ego, that we are separated from the rest, that exact illusion that Albert Einstein is talking about, was created by my ego, and that illusion was actually holding me back from experiencing my life to the fullest. And when I say to the fullest, that means that I knew I'm here to achieve different things beyond that identity. And these things were not about feeling important, it was more about fulfilling my soul. And when I felt in one of those meditation retreats that I am actually really that energy that is in me, that is actually circulating in me, and that energy has unlimited potential, and I can consciously create whatever I want with that energy, meaning I can craft different identity and I can become different character in this simulation or the game that we play here on physical plane. Then I was able to play with this identity shift, and then I was able to tune into identity that was more aligned with my soul, more aligned with my calling. And by the way, I also realized that this identity will be constantly shifting, and that is okay. You don't have to be stuck in one identity. You can constantly shift. In fact, we are constantly shifting because it is governed by the law of change. And the moment we start resisting, we are resisting life. And then you don't feel aligned anymore. In fact, then you feel suppressed. Then you feel depressed because you're not allowing life to express through you, or source to express through you. And so finally, when I decided to give myself permission to be who I want to be. And when I say who I want to be, I'm talking about my soul, who came here to express itself in all the beautiful colors, if you will, that wants to express itself. Then finally I was able to say yes to creating this YouTube channel, say yes to publishing my book, spiritual book, Love is the Law, say yes to coaching people, say yes to living in alignment with my soul mission. And so to shift your identity, especially if you feel like you're really attached to that identity that you created, is to first to understand that who you really are is not this identity, this current identity, this body. You are not it. You are unlimited potential. And to practice meditation daily is going to help you to realize this on that experiential level. Otherwise, it's just going to be theory that I am sharing with you. And it really comes down to you feeling it and experiencing it. Once you actually understand that this is not who I am, that identity that you first created, in other words, I am character in this game and I can be whoever I want to be, then I actually invite you to create that new character based on your imagination and based on what feels right, based on alignment with your soul, based on alignment with your soul's mission, and know that you can be whoever you want to be. That's the fun part. And so to create that identity is to get very crystal clear on who you want to be, because you can become that person. And so to be clear is to understand that you can be anyone. So let imagination help you. Allow yourself to be who you want to be in this moment. And if a year from now you feel like you no longer want to be this person, give yourself permission again to change and grow. Because the worst thing you can do to yourself is to stop that inner evolution, inner growth, because that is going to put you in a very suppressed state. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.